Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over Bitcoin and this 12-hour chart right now. Algos, most all the algos still projecting downside, guys, going into the end of the month. It looks like um, middle of the month, 16th of August, somewhere around there, 15th, 16th August, going to be trending down. You see the algo up here. Usually that's a signal when you got them up here and they're equal like that. It's sideways, which makes sense. This is Friday, guys. It's going to probably go sideways in a Friday, Saturday, and in the Sunday. Then there's 5 o'clock opening in those markets. That's 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and there may be a dump, or the dump will be on Monday or Tuesday. More than likely, my opinion, if you want to go over the Elliott waves, you have a wave one here. It's probably in some sort of wave two correction for a wave three, and then back down for a wave four, and then a wave five. It's probably going to be like a diagonal type move, like it's been doing all the way down, guys. Okay, so this right here, my opinion, is a flat. It went up like this, came back down, and boom, and rocketed back up. And by the way, guys, in crypto and Bitcoin, wave fours, that would be like more like a wave four. Connector wave, and wave fours can get pretty aggressive, slamming back up like that. I've noticed that a lot on cryptos, guys. Wave fours can rocket up real high. Wave twos can, but wave fours commonly do because they go down. All the momentum in the wave three onto the downside. So you have Elliott wave, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Elliott wave. Okay, so here's Elliott wave. Okay, Elliott wave like this. Let me remove all this over here. Elliott wave. Okay. So here's your 5-wave move on Elliott wave. What am I doing here? Here's your 5-wave move on Elliott wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. It probably that's not a very good wave. Let me change that. I'll show you guys something here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's a diagonal. So this fourth wave is coming up to that wave. Okay, so it's like a wedge or a diagonal type move. This wave should have the most momentum. Okay, so you go down here and you check the RSI, and on that move, your RSI will be kind of like it won't look exactly like this, but it'll come up. The wave two, okay, it's typical. A good indication on the RSI is it gets up above that previous one, telling you it's going to go back down because that's bearish divergence. And this wave three go like that, right? All the way down there. And then it can rocket back up onto a wave four back in there real aggressively. And it'll come back down. And now here's your bullish divergence. Okay. That's how you identify a one of those patterns, the 5-wave pattern to find those like that, guys. Okay. The divergences up top and up bottom and on the bottom. It's just another indication for you to find it's going to come back down. So I'll show you an example right here. Okay. Now, remember, I made a video right in this area. I went to go get coffee. It had already dumped. Now, and I wanted to put in a short right here, but I went to go get coffee at Starbucks and it already dumped. I came back and it was already down here. So I missed it. But one of the reasons why is the algos were telling me it was going to go down, but it was plainly obvious that you can see that on this wave, oh, excuse me, it's over here. Excuse me, it's not that wave. This wave over here, right? So let me go to an 8-hour chart. This wave right here, okay? You see how this wave came down and then this wave came up? So you see this right here? So you have your peak to peak and your peak to peak, but this is lower, that's higher. This is lower, but that's higher. So the divergence right there telling you this is going to trend down from that peak to that peak right there. So right in this area, you have the signals. I had signals on my algos telling me it's going to go down, and it was plainly right there. Came up above it to tell you it's going to trend back down. That works. Depending on the time frame, usually that hidden bearish divergence works on a downtrend like that majority of the time. I'd say 70% of the time, probably something like that. You plainly have it here too. You see how high this came? So this peak is much higher than that peak, okay? So some people think it's probably going to be going down, it's going to be here and it's going to go up. Because I was just reading on Twitter, everybody, these guys on Twitter are waiting for this thing to pop back up to 30K to be able to short it, okay? So they're actually in the wrong position. They should be waiting for this to finish up its correction and then short from here back down to here. Okay. They think it's going to hang out in this area, go back up, and then come back down. It could, but you have to get what the market gives you. But based off this analysis, just basic analysis on RSI, you can plainly see from this peak to this peak and this peak to this peak. This peak right here is higher than this peak, but in the RSI, it's lower, and over here it's higher, telling you more than likely you have hidden bearish divergence once again from this area to this area, telling you it's going to go down. Make sense? And on the higher the time frame, the stronger the divergence. So you might not see it on the daily, and you got to go through your time frame. So you go to the 12-hour, the 8-hour, the 10-hour, the 8-hour, the 6-hour. You see if you see it. The higher the time frame. It works on a 45-minute chart too. It's not as strong. Therefore, your wave down. So if it's in the let's say it's in the 45-minute and the 1-hour chart, right? I see that hidden bearish divergence, excuse me, on that chart, but I don't see it on the 4-hour. Okay, it goes away. More than likely, that's just telling you the wave's not going to be as strong. That's an indication it won't be as strong. So, but in this instance, from this area to this area, this is pretty strong, and more than likely, you're going to have a wave that's going to come down, probably to these areas now. You probably have to start looking at 27.9 or something like that for Bitcoin. More than likely. So we'll see. Okay, so that's like a little thing on the divergences. Divergences are very, very strong indicators. Bullish divergence, bearish divergence, and then hidden bull, and then hidden bear. Used all the time. They do work. It's obviously not a guarantee. You want to have backup plans, but I have the backup, so you can see here. I'm going to go back to a 12-hour chart. So I went and I checked those on the 8-hour. I'm like, okay, I got hidden bearish. The algos are telling me it's going to go down. So in this instance, I got Friday. Probably not going to do anything. I got these here and here, probably telling me it's going to go sideways. And I go up over here. You can see with the moving averages, what is it doing? It's below the 9, went up above it. You can see here, went up above it, boom, 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 all that other stuff. You glance over it, you get used to trading, you'll see this, and it's probably pretty obvious. The probability is going to go up like this and then down with this moving averages, right? And then when it gets down here, what do you want to look for? The 9 getting above the 21 and go through the 40, and then boom, and then you ride the railroad tracks up. And right now, you're going to ride the railroad tracks down. It just so happens people get messed up and can get intimidating because the railroad tracks are going down, but you can see it does bounce through there a lot. So in this instance, somebody could be in a short from here, right? Okay, if they're not experienced, and then it gets down here, and then it bounces, like, oh my God, everybody. And so it gets down here, and then it bounces, right? Oh my gosh, and then it gets back down here, right? So it depends on how you want to do it. That's the problem with swing trading, is you can have these big swings that go back up, and it could scare people out of the trade if they're not confident in this to continue to go down, if that makes sense. So back to Bitcoin. All right, guys. So like I said, right here, since you can't really see them. Let me turn everything off. You see these algos right here. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there. There. Okay. So that's telling me it's going sideways. Friday. It's already Friday. More likely, what's going to happen on the weekend? What have we been doing on the weekend, guys? With Bitcoin. What have we been doing on the weekend with Bitcoin for the most part? We've been watching paint dry, right? On the weekend, watching Bitcoin and hoping for the moonshot or the dump. It's probably not a good idea. So it's a good idea, man. Go outside, man. Do some push-ups or something out in the sun. If you're in a sunny spot, it's summertime here, by the way. Fairly decent, warm. And do that, and walk around, get some fresh air, and go, well, I'm not going to watch paint dry with Bitcoin. Okay, guys? So that's probably a good time to do that. You're like, hey, I mean, like, what are the odds right now that, like, oh, I'm going to go, like, for 2 hours, go walk around, and Bitcoin's going to do your pump in your 2-hour walk? I mean, could it happen? It could, but I doubt it. So anyhow, right here and right here, and then more than likely, what's it been doing in the past? Look at that. Test to the 40, test to the 40, test to the 40. Probably a little bit more bearish down here. Could it spike to the 40 at 29.4 and start making a trek down? It very well could. But it might not make it. It might have a wick up to the 40 and then start turning back down. Okay. So the target's down here. 27.5 is definitely on the table. 28 area. 28.3, 28.2, 27.9, 28.5 guys are definitely on the table, and as low as 27.2 guys. So, and then going up for a trend. All right. So this is a very good area for a long trade, in my opinion, because if you go like this, right? So it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. We know things don't go down in a straight line, do they? So it's probably going to retrace, isn't it? At least at a minimum. But my targets on this one are going to be 31, 4, 32, and as high as 32.5. Now, if it gets up and over that, maybe a little FOMO will kick in, and some bulls will step in that area and go, look at this, guys. Look at this. We are above that massive resistance, because that's going to be a huge deal, guys. This is going to blow up the Bitcoin market, because they're going to be above resistance, man. I'm telling you, man, just wait until you see the YouTube videos then, guys, man. These guys are going to the bulls are going to blow up. And then the bears, I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to be interesting. I check their stuff too, man. It's going to be interesting to see what they come up with. What are they going to come up with? This is just that fake out, guys. I'm telling you, man. Short the pump, right? So anyhow, guys, trying to have a little fun, man. Hey, it's no big deal, man. It's no big deal. Bitcoin's gonna be paint drying season once again on Saturday and Sunday, more than likely. And then you come check about 4 or 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time of the United States, and maybe some volatility start kicking in, and then maybe on Monday or Tuesday, and then maybe it'll start going down. Then you'll have it go down maybe to 28.2, maybe 27.9, and then you have more YouTube videos saying, why did Bitcoin drop, right? Okay, guys, so not a big deal. So like I said, if you want to go into here, do short trade, hey, I'm thinking about it, possibly, maybe. It's kind of a risky trade. You want to be in and out on that thing pretty darn quick. If it's a 200 MA, I would probably, the 200 simple moving average, I'd probably take my profits at that point. Just a suggestion, don't get greedy in a short trade right now, because Bitcoin overall trend is still up. Okay. It's still up and to the right until that trend comes to the end, and the trend is your friend. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.